So good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Donny Chaingang with me, Matt Payne. We're live once again from the Full Speed event offices. We're still here, still like a bomb site downstairs. A bit like a bomb site, basically. There's just bits everywhere. And it is slowly coming together, and hopefully the swanky new studios will be swanky when they're finished. But at the moment, mid-progress, midway sort of in there in terms of progress. So actually putting stuff in rather than taking it out, which is always good. Now, it is, of course, OTE April. We are going to be heading out into OTE's home turf. We're into Yorkshire, and we're going to be going around the Harrogate circuit reverse. So not Harrogate, it's Harrogate is the proper pronunciation. Or Harrogate if you're going North Leeds, for 45k in total, including the warm down. Let's show you where we're heading out on circuit with our bear, with Russ. Russ will be leading the way around, and we're going to be going in the reverse direction. This means out of the pens we go downhill to start off with, then we've got a steep kicker, and then downhill again, then the long drag through the sprint, then another downhill, then the long drag up to the top of the KOM, then drop down towards the bottom, up to Starback corner, take a left-hand turn, down pop, bank up the other side, left-hand turn again. Now, this is a tough route to ride. It's an even tougher route to keep the group together, and that means that Russ will be dependent on everybody playing the game properly to stay together. If you do get distance, don't forget that we have our red bus being driven by Jason Stevens. Jason, one of our very experienced bus drivers, and plenty of cake on board on the way round. Now, talked about the hills. Let's take a look. This is the circuit. It is blooming tough. Doing well not swear. This is a very, very, very tough circuit. Now, let's interpret this for you. Essentially, how this works is we are starting directly above the P for Power by Strava. We drop down and go around this circuit in an anti-clockwise direction. So we come down towards the lowest point nearest to you. Then we go up and around the circuit. We go up the first set of climbs. That's the KOM, not the highest point you'll notice on the circuit. We then drop down to Starback. That's directly below the red bit. Down into the back, up to the corner at Starback Corner, which is the far right-hand side. We drop down and then climb up Pop Bank, which is the red section of climb. All the way up over the drag to the top. A little bit of a downhill to the left-hand turn at the roundabout. Coming back down and then in along the long sawtooth over the highest point of the course, coming back into the straight, back down into the finish in Harrogate. This is tough stuff. There is no two ways about it, and it is going to be dependent on everybody staying together. So please, guys, remember, key here is to stay around yellow. 3 laps of 13.85 gives us a finish at just over 41.5 kilometres at the lap arch. This is going to be a bit of a beastie. Let's see who is going to take this out. Don't forget, on the way round, we also will be having the draw for the OTE giveaway. OTE are commercial sponsors looking after the members of DCG Gang. So if you're a member of the gang, I know a couple of people just joining late on. We've already added you into the sheets as well. Well, guess what? You are going to be in the draw as well. So on the way through, it's one rider, one prize. So basically, anybody who's won a pack of OT, the brand new Hydro Tabs from the team on the OT with the Pineapple Hydro Tabs, then you're not going to be in for winning a second pack, but it does mean that more riders get the benefit on the way round. 8 prizes going out in total for the 8 DCG Donny Chaingangs on the way through, and that means that we are going to give away 1 pack per show, apart from on the last show we're going to give away 2 because we're not going to have a show on the penultimate ride. That's Tuesday before we finish. So the riders are up and away. Looks like Russ already in and heading out pretty comfortably. We're going to take a little bit of a run back through. Let's see who's going to be screaming in to jump in on to the back. Chris Cannon saying, is it acceptable that I start crying what you might describe the Velo Viewer map? Yes, up, 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 and more up. So I tell you what, let's go from me and let's go dive in with the ride over there and let's get onto the gang properly. Great to see everybody thinks it's totally acceptable to be upset by the course profile. I quite agree. Lee Allen just chasing onto the back of the group. Looks like Taylor also going to be doing the same. Don't forget, there is a 30 minutes late join. So that means that you have 30 minutes to late join if you need it. And it is often quite acceptable. Looks like Russ already being distanced by the group. This is not good news. Russ still got the lurgy. He's got Norman's lurgy, I think it is. Welcome to the world of having kids, Russ. You get all sorts of bugs from the kids. It's just how it works. So a quick reminder, let's get the gang all together. Let's just see Jason Stevens, our red beacon here, and motoring along. Just see Jason is out and about, and already keeping an eye on what's happening behind our rudders. Still chasing on here in the blue. So Jason is our bus driver tonight. I think, Jason, you might need a double-decker today. Oh, happy birthday, Greg Pillsworth. Happy birthday, Sir Greg. Mr. Pillsworth, sir. Just making his way, diving in past the gang. So, Greg Pillsworth, happy birthday. He's 21 again, I'm guessing. I'm sure all of the gang will be wishing you happy birthday. Because we've got Andy Hall's tucked on here. The Pinarello and Asla Bastard tucked in pretty comfortably in there as well. Looks like the group, though, just all together as we come along here, with the exception of Mr. Stevens. Just a quick warning, Jason. Mr. Taylor behind is absolutely motoring. So at the moment, the one rider chasing on is Sam Taylor. He's doing 4.6 watts per kilo, Jason. So just be aware, he's on an absolute flyer. He's about 15 seconds down on you. Looks like Rob Wimble just holding the back of the pack at the moment. We are on our circuit, the smaller of the two circuits. We're on the long left-hand drag that will work its way up. It undulates its way through. Good to see Rob on here. Rob, of course, a winner on the gang already this season. So it looks like we've got Manon Lloyd in with us. Manon, one of our regulars from GCN, back in with us in that new blue GCN kit. Good to see Manon on board. And in with us, Neil from Gritty in as well. So Neil on board. Neil taking an early shower last time around. It I think clearly means business today, because he's on the lightweight frame. He's got the lightweight wheels on as well. So Neil from Gritty is going to be clearly going for something special. Either that, or he knows that he's going to need all the help he can get, because he's not allowed to go too hard prior to the weekend. We will see. I'm sure Neil will let us know one way or another. So Mr. Gillard in here, got Jimmy Allen in, Dr. D getting better slowly but surely. Steve Catlin in there, which is good to see. Looks like Nina Williams in here. Nina, one of the Aeonian squad, on board and in the ride as well. So good to see Nina in with us. The Aeonian squad very, very busy over the winter period. Good to see Mark Chamberlain in here. Mark getting the win on the Nonners giveaway as well. So Mark in here. Mark with one of those prizes for the members of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. The guys who keep the show on the road, if you want to get involved with it, we still have a few weeks left. Don't forget, of course, that it will end at the end of April. And at the end of April, we will then, apart from lying down in a very dark room and doing some recovery, Russ and I, and Emma and all the team behind the scenes, we will be, of course, planning on getting to see a few people in real life as well. And of course, we have the first of the real life rides happening this weekend on Sunday. Going out to the Tamar Ice Cream Tea Room, basically down just across the road, down at Elkersley, across from the Galveston Airfield, or airport as it is these days. And a venue known well to many of the riders on the DCG rides. Heading out 2 different routes. If you want to see the routes, dive onto the Facebook pages. If you're going to go, please, 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 please let Tracy and Vince know. Now, Vince Donny, last time you and Matt were poked to us. So, talking about the ride on here last time. In fact, last time we didn't set the riders away, and in fact we ended the coverage. That's how grumpy I was about it, how bad it was. mass banning, I think it was. It was. There was a number of people got banned on that day and didn't get allowed back on. It was great fun pressing the delete your order. Made me feel much better. Hopefully it won't happen tonight. Tonight everyone's going to behave themselves. Everyone's going to be nice. Play nice, ladies and gents. Until the go-go-go. And at that point only, then you can do what you want. And the tougher the better. Right. Back to nice things. Indeed. Ice cream. Always a good subject. Ice cream. Might have to do a sweet speak about how much ice cream we consume at the end of the chain. So at the moment, it looks like Mr. Simonite diving down onto the back of the pack where we're going to take a sharp right-hand turn on to the climb. This is the crossroads where everything happens. So there's an extra route up for Sunday's DCG IRL to enable choices and shortcuts if people need it. So if you do feel the need to take the route a little bit shorter, you can dive on in and make the most of it. Now, just watching the riders come around this turn, looks like a few people just are coming towards back, just stretching the legs out at the back of the group, which is where we'd always prefer you to do. So if you do not need help, if you're going to be stopping or you're not going to do the full distance, please do let our red beacon know. He's going to need to know today. It's really, really essential because once he's got out at the back, it's very difficult for the red to chase up and down non-stop. Really key. So I think please do, if you need help, shout up. Super sharp. Really, really, really important. So here we go. Mr. Byrne just squeezed his way onto the back of the pack here. Tim Byrne with us. Good to see Tim on the gang detail in here. Tristan on board. Thank you very much, Tristan, for being part of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang supporters. You never know. At the end of lap number 1, you might be winning yourself some OTE goodies. Mr. Mason, do you really have a beer then ride? I have been known to. Have been known actually on one very infamous mountain bike up into the top of the Dales into a very wild all-day ride. We got about halfway round, and the only thing that was open halfway was a pub, and it was cheese and chips and pints of Guinness, and I used the multiple for a reason. It was not drinking responsibly. Don't do this at home, folks. But by God, the ride back was fun. Rode into a tree, quite literally. Rode into a tree on the way home. Funnily enough, put a big dent in my helmet. These things happen. It was worth it though. It was a wet, cold day in the Dales. It's actually up in the top of the Howgills. Technically, it's still the Dales. Right. So as Jason Stevens says, anyone behind, please do shout. Mr. Raccoon, I think he's just having a stop. So Andy Watson knows how to get back in again. Jason, don't wait for him, mate. He definitely knows how to get back in. He's one of our regular riders, is Mr. Raccoon, a.k.a. Mr. Watson. Going at the moment. Going well. So let's get the helicopter up. Tim Byrne in. We've got a feather eating borrow. Yeah, they're all in the pillows, mate. Sorry. Can't hand them out. Wish we could just drop them like this. This would be really good, wouldn't it? Nick James. Went out for social rides. Right, or two. Felt like didn't know how to ride a bike. I was really smooth over the rough stuff after that. I'd like to say it was the only time I did it, but you know. No, blame it on the several pints Guinness. Right, let's take a little look. Everybody pretty much together. So nobody doing silly numbers up here. He saving their effort. No comment from Russ on the pub rides. That's because you invariably have a pint, Russ. I'm loving Gareth's. Our club has a mild competition. Love it. Right, through the line we go on the reverse worlds. Coming up over the top there on the QOM reverse, or KOM reverse. The time's about 4 minutes, pretty much. I think pretty much most people together. It's not massively strung out. It is strung out a little, but not crazy amount. Neil having a couple of beers to celebrate finishing the Marmot route at the top of the outdoors. The descent wasn't the best control. No, but I bet you weren't as scared of the downhill as I would have been. So here we go, Mr. Stevens just chasing at the back here. Lee Allen. That's Train Driver Ash if you want any info on Pub Rice. Yes, I wondered how long it would be till his name was mentioned. Chris Canham. Anyone heard of Red Chili Cycles in Axminster down south? The answer is yes. They are the team sponsor of the Finish Line Racing Team, aka Joe Tinley, part of the Downey Cycling Coaching Team's team. So the answer is yes. They have been ridden to national crit championship wins by the team, and they were the frame of choice up until the end of last season. Sancris has indeed was a sponsor. They're no longer a sponsor this year because it is now Liv, based out at the Giant store at Donington, if I remember correctly. Sancris does indeed have a 47 centimetre extra small, I think, off sale. Very good value for money. I would just wish I was smaller. Mr. Patterson, first full distance Ironman this year. Thanks to DCG for making a rubbish cyclist average. Mate, you are definitely not a rubbish cyclist. If you can just even turn a wheel on this, you're definitely not rubbish, believe me. We don't have rubbish cyclists ever, anywhere. So they are, Chris. Yeah, stick your head down. They've been known to do some very nice runs. They've been up there. I'm sure if you were to get in touch with the team, they would tell you their thoughts as well. And didn't hear anything bad about them. And they won the National Crit Championships on them, amongst other things. So they were popular. Well, looks like everybody's rolling around well at the moment. Of course, we haven't reached the worst of the hills yet. We are on our way in towards the left-hand turn at the end of Pennypot Lane, basically here. This is technically the end of Pennypot. As we come up, we do a left-hand turn. Pennypot Lane will stretch out in front of you, which is something most riders who've ridden on the Yorkshire Road Race circuit will know very well. Mr. Stevens giving us a wave. Thank you very much, sir. Just there, just behind Andy Horse. Good to see Andy. Hope you're getting some riding in, Andy. Good to catch you out and about. So Mr. Taylor squeezing onto the back, then it's going to be Rob, Craig Herring, Dr. D in here, Jonathan Gale in, everybody just squeezing together at the top of this. This is really nice to see. You can just see the vast majority of the pack are pretty much all together, and just a nice compact bunch, Gruppo Compacto, which is what we're looking for as we go over the top, because of course when we take this left-hand turn that's coming up, you are going to find that the front accelerates up very quickly indeed. To see Foxy on board and Tracy as well, two of our absolute regulars on the gang. Just take a little bit of a check. So it looks like tonight we've got Emma Gilbert, we've got Manon Lloyd, we've got Claire Jessup, we've got Foxy, Tracy and Nina from the gang. Fantastic stuff. Nicely done, everybody. Over the top. Now all we need to do is survive Pot Bank. I'm not telling the story of the road race or two when I've gone down Pot Bank in the opposite direction. And a number of people didn't make it around this tight left-hand bend. Actually hit the wall. Not metaphorically but quite literally, on the outside of the bend and ended up going over the edge of the wall. Was one of my favourite circuits, I must admit. And Pennypot Lane is absolutely brutal, and the long falls flat. I used to love that bit. Pennypot Lane, take a left past the pub through the S-bends. Other side, take next left. Up the long drag, back of Norwood Edge. Drop down the other side, down Pot Bank, sprint up the other side, turn left, repeat regularly. Right, a few people just losing a little bit of ground. Mr. Drabble having a little bit of a stop, giving everybody a head start today. Very nice. Don't think we need to worry about him off the back. Jason, if you're watching, ignore Pete Drabble off the back. Make him work as hard as physically possible. Let's see if his legs are going to be in one piece by the end of getting back on again. He's chosen his moment well. Right, here we go. Let's dive in with Russ as the riders hit the steep section here. Here we go, 13.25%, just flicking up on the screens. That is how tough that turn is. 20, I'll repeat that, 25% on that corner. Just what you don't want on they're currently averaging 15 as we come around onto the inside of this bend. The riders find it just eases again. What pace is the group at? I'll make that 10 kph, 3 kph from Mr. Mason at the moment. Yeah, not quite 8.5 for Russ at the moment. I think Mr. Drabble has managed to come back on at some serious speed. Mate, they're pushing like everything they've got and are still spreading out a little. Not too bad tonight, I have to say. Yeah, Pete, you can catch. Don't do a late start, mate. Honestly, you're going to be on the back of them in seconds. So Pete coming into the right-hand turn. Just see up above the gorge. It's not quite that far down in real life. Oh, you're actually doing yes, mate. Pretty close. It is in point on here. It has to be, just to keep the group together. So Pete's going to be quickly ticking up onto the back. He's had a nice little workout, stretched his legs out, had his little stop. But he didn't press the coffee stop button, the new coffee stop button. They only did that. It really should be called the Simon Run It button. That's what it is there for. It's so that Simon can dive off the group at any point. But they couldn't call it the Simon Run It button, so they called it the coffee stop button instead. Anybody who's been on the ride will know what the Simon Run It button is there for. Right, looks like Emma tucked in nicely here. Emma Gilbert on the gang again, another rider who's constantly improved all Chaingang all the way through. Real impressive rise by Emma week in, week out. Always improving on the way through. Just tucked in nicely with this group. Jason Stevens just watching the back of this pack. I'll tell you something, this man is experienced as being a red beacon. It's always in the right place at the right time. It's like just like got radar on the back of the gang, watching everything. So Russ, the back are indeed squeezing, believe me. They're not that far off distance-wise. As Russ knows, though, we go over the top of this crest, it will split and the gaps will open. So this is where it's key to get back together again, because we're going up at the moment at what is only 2%, I say only, but it's come on the back of Pot Bank. We're very quickly going to be going over the top here, and as we go over the top, it steepens. You see, going to 5% at the moment. They're going to be coming down the bottom way. So here we go, Jason Stevens at the right place, right time. This is that tight left-hand turn. and left just before the cricket club, as is. You can just see coming around the bend. Jason just tucked on the back. Everybody in here. It looks like Foxy's got in the little ring, won't change either. Not a good sign, Foxy. You have got 21 minutes of late join used. 9 minutes left. So, Foxy, you've 9 minutes to do a late rejoin. I would suggest break, stop, jump off, make it work, and then jump back in again. You've 9 minutes, Foxy, if you're in trouble with the bike not running. So 9 minutes and counting. Let's see if Foxy manages to do a return. Mason changed trainer difficulty to 0. Yeah. And then rev like crazy when it's on. That's usually quite good. Leave it in the big ring and be back in. Foxy, get it working and get back in. That's from the bear. There you go. Mason, you can do it if Mr. Mason, you could do it with 0 turbo difficulty if you have the big ring and don't put it in a little. That will work. I know where you were going, mate. Don't worry. Right, front of the gang together, looking good on the way through. Should it be set anything else? No, please don't go down the road. Don't open that can of worms of what percentage to put your turbo at. 50% is the standard for racing because of the ZRL rules, etc. And if you're riding, most people tend to be 25 to 30. And as lots of people put them on 100 because they're purists, the puritanical, round-headed, evangelistic turbo trainer percentage difficulty people. They do exist out there. Good to see Foxy is back with us. Leave it in the big ring, turn the turbo difficulty down, sprint like you're doing, sprint the entire hill, you'll be fine. You get the what's up, what's the what's, and you get them, it's up to you. Bobby Mason, always 100%. Bobby, never 100%. My personal preference, 20 to 25%. It allows you to use closer gear range and then use your revs. Open that can of worms, indeed, Russ. It's open. Might as well make the most of it whilst it's open. Do it on 100%, and you just need bigger chain rings and small chain rings and lots of gears, and the gaps are bigger in between them. What's our what's? Anyone who thinks that indoors is the same as outdoors and you're going to replicate it, forget it. You are on the gamification city that is Swift. What gears people using now? That's a really good, interesting one. Anybody riding it fixed? I've ridden Pop Bank on fixed. That was really stupid. What bike gearing for Gareth? Good move. I once rode the reliability on fixed. It was really hard around the back of Family Tabby, to be brutally honest. But then it was entertaining on the long section through. Big ones and little ones for Paul Simon. I love it. I think it was about 7th or 8th through the door of the tea room at the end of the village hall at the end for the cakes and coffee at the end. 34-28 for Paul Malin. Oh, Jason being an absolute gent, offering Foxy some company. So we chat from our beacon, and Foxy just about whether they're going to get back in or not, and give you a heads up that it's less than 5 minutes realistically to get back in. And Adam's way, so fantastic. Now, just taking a look at the riders in front, looks like a little strung out as we come down into town. No surprises there. This is breakaway city once we do hit the trigger point. The riders are rolling the way down well. Just trying to find Russ. So where's Russ? Here he is. So Russ on his way down. We've just got the overhead shot of Russ. We're going to pull up the giveaway number generator, checking it's working, which it is, which means that when we take the left hand turn and we start to run down towards the lap banner, we are going to be pulling a name out of the hat on the giveaway. One rider's number will be coming up, and they won't be the ones getting the fine. They will be getting the giveaway prizes, and that is for the members of the DCG gang, courtesy of OTE. Let's take a look. Here we are. We're on our way, heading in to the line into the gantry. When Russ goes underneath that gantry, we're going to stop it. One number will stop on the number generator. So here we go. The number generator is up, and Russ goes underneath. Here we go. Underneath he goes. So that is going to be number 14 on the list, and the members of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. Have to say, guys, really interesting. All those people who go on, we have loads of people on there who are supporting us over the course of the long length. What we would really like to know is if you've been on, if you've won or haven't won on the way through, and what you've won on the way through. Number 14. Number 14 is, well, number 13, Garford John. It's not you. Number 16, Grant Mark. It's not you. Number 15, it's not you. Number 14, Emma Gilbert. It's you. So Emma Gilbert, you are our winner. Number 14 on the DCG gang members draw. You are going to get the prizes. It's a triple pack of OTE goodies going your direction, and Emma is on the ride tonight, so congratulations, Emma. We'll be sending you an email on the way through. So the rider's nicely on the move here. That's going to be £30 worth of OTE products heading your way. Congratulations to Emma Gilbert. Always good to see a rider on the gang taking away the prizes as well. Brilliant to see. And just frantically scribbling next to it in my scroll. You are the fourth of our winners, and going to be the fourth rider in. So nice one to well done to Emma Gilbert, one of our regulars on the WoW DCG and the DCG, and a rider who's constantly been improving, and a great reward. That fantastic. So on to lap number 2 of 3. So it was 2 laps ago when we went underneath the line. That's our draw done for tonight for the OTE goodies going out, and to our members of the DCG gang. Remember, these are guys who've donated for a month or to the end of the season. Without them, we really, well and truly cannot run the gang. It just wouldn't happen. And got to say a massive thank you. It keeps the wheels rolling in Russ's world. It keeps, of course, the show on the road here in the studios, and allows us to devote all of the time into looking after not just all the kit, but also, of course, all of our riders who take part in the gang and look after everybody on there. So fantastic. Really important. The random message was from Herring, this slippery fish. Craig Herring. No. Would he be late by any chance? As we always say, rather you registered and didn't turn up than didn't register and didn't turn up. Please do register. It makes life so much better from our point of view, easier. And it saves us lots of hassles in the long run, even though at the time it doesn't feel like it some days. Right, looks like Mr. Stevens and Foxy just chasing on the back of the group. And Keyworth potentially could be heading for the bus as well. He's got the red beacon behind Jason Stevens. The red just able to see yellow in sight. The yellow already into what is the sprint segment in reverse. It's a left-hand turn and then going in, and the archway just on the left-hand side. So it looks like Foxy's bike is dead, telling Jason to keep on going. So Jason is going to be heading, I think, up to Mr. Keyworth next. And he'll be taking this left-hand turn. Just in with Matlock on these round here. He's going to be coming up to that green banner. Matlock in the GB inspired kit. You can just see the gang making its way into or was that green archway. That's our sprint archway when we would use it. It's definitely not the day to be wearing your legs out up on this sprint today. Just see Mr. Warren on here. Actually saw Simon out riding his bike the other day. He was riding up through Holmesfield on his way round. Great to see Simon on there. Very recognisable on that time machine. The man from 100 Climbs tucked in here and riding well. And I've got to say, share many things with him. Not the ability to go up hills, this is far better than mine. But the hatred of flares, definitely. Quite agree, shouldn't be allowed near any bike race ever.com. And you'll see we've got Claire Jessup tucked in here. Claire in the gang once again. So Claire Jessup with the gang here, as I managed to throw the mouse. You can tell we're in the offices because all this sort of stuff is all going to do some damage to all the kit if we drop it off the sides here. Whereas in the studios, generally when everything just drops, it doesn't do any damage. It just lands nice and quietly. It doesn't break anything. It's all got like padding and foam and all sorts all around it, making life a bit better. So Claire Jessup tucked in nicely in here. The gang working well. I think with Dermot in as well. It's like Manon still tucked in there. Taking the right-hand turn here, just coming up on to the climb. A couple of riders just off the back. That is going to be, I think, Mr. Keyworth and our Red Beacon. Yep, around the corner they go. Foxy deciding to watch on a run round at the moment. Foxy, you can't win them all. You've been on the go. I think Foxy's done so many Chaingangs, it's crazy. The number winner at the moment, the leading the volume of rides ever ridden, it is, unless Russ releases a different number, it is currently a Mr. Mason. Gareth Mason nicely tucked in the pack at the moment. It's like Pete Drobble just hovering around the back with Jimmy Allen actually at the moment. So just keeping out of the way at the back of the group. So the long drag up to the KOM just beginning. These riders just making their way up in that direction. So Drabble tucks in here, the man who couldn't be caught last time out, someone who has managed to take the win repeatedly. He's been there or thereabouts for a long time now. He's not just there or thereabouts, he is absolutely right there and nailing it week in, week out, which is great to see. Great to have the riders doing that. Great to see his absolutely flying at the moment, and definitely a rider who I think is definitely going to be around for a while. It certainly looks like he's got it pretty much dialed. Knows sort of when to kick, where to go, how hard to push, and absolutely flying at the moment. Lots of people, of course, out on duty in road races, out on the road as well as on the mountain bike season. I know a lot of people heading down to Margam Park for the weekend. If you are going, good luck. It's always great to see our riders going out and racing. Make sure you let us know if you aren't going to be heading out and you're going to be racing this weekend. Great to see everybody doing. And post on that page, post on the Facebook page how you get on in those races. It's always good to catch up with what people have been doing on the way through. Don't just sit and watch the results from things like the Sunday Race Club and the World Cups and the BMX and the Eliminator and all the rest of it. We do also try and keep an eye on what the riders are doing in every discipline, particularly those people who are on the Chaingang. So do make sure you post up on that Facebook page, and we're really looking forward to seeing how everybody's been getting on. Miss Cookie was at Tom. Raced in a wig. Well, raced with a plat because there is a WOW DCG have plats for watts. So if you notice, this is a theory propagated by Miss Cookie, by Sarah, and it is that if you watch women's racing, those riders who have plats go faster than those that don't. Laura Kenny, for example. Would be a great example. Always faster with a plat. Now, if you believe that and follow that theory to its non-logical conclusion, essentially, what you end up with is that you need to have plats to go fast, and therefore you have plats in your hair. If, like me, that's not an option, you can always get a fake plat. Whether it works or not, that is up to you. But plats for watts is a thing. Started off on the WOW DCG. Personally, I think it's absolute bobbins, but I'm bound to say that because there's no way in this earth I'm going to be able to put a plat in for a long, long time. Once upon a time, maybe. I will leave that to your imagination, which is where it's best. She was certainly smiling at the end, and that's what matters. If you aren't enjoying it, don't do it. It's that straightforward. So the going back onto the climb, looks like Man and Lloyd, one of those riders just at the back of the pack at the moment. Just getting out the saddle, 72 revs per minute. Betty Moore, photo on Facebook of Matt's plat, not a chance. I don't think there's any photographic evidence on any digital platform that I know of it. It's not happening. There is only proper film. Tough tonight, says Russ, yes, you chose the route. This is one of the toughest routes going. It's one of the toughest to control. It's one of the toughest to ride. And it's really hard work. Now, looks like Jason is in no man's land. Mr. Stevens between the devil and the deep blue sea, working hard but not able to get back on again. Unfortunately, I think you may be alone for a little while because the group is breaking a little bit but not hugely. Remember, this is a 3-lap ride tonight, and we are currently not even halfway around lap number 2, so we're not at the halfway point. Yeah, Craig Herring's message board is now working on his companion. There's been a few people with companions that companion out that are not working too well. As we always say, uninstall, reinstall. Always. Best way to make anything work. Switch it off, start all over again. Good to have you with us, Greg. Good to have you back. have to say, okay, very happy to be back on again. Left over on. Was that the ice cream man? No. Even G. We haven't seen you since Brexit. Thought you got caught up in the EU quotas. Very good. Very good. The jokes are just as bad. I shall resist more. So here we go on the run down into Awards Pot Bank for the second time. Slight rise and the proper fall on the drop, but we're going to go hit the bank. The super steep, super nasty, really horrible section. Meanwhile, looks like Jason just out of the back. I think he's going to be getting some help pretty quickly. Now, looks like Foxy has had some assistance. Now on the way in now. Should we do a DSM up here, says Russ, like block the entire way through? Definitely. Now, here we go. On to the climb. We'll sit in with Russ at the moment on the way through here. We'll sit with Russ's view as he goes up. So at the moment, Russ tucked in here, 15% on this section. We're going to take that right-hand turn now. And this is where you can really start to feel it biting, 16%. Now, if you're on the right-hand side of the group on this section, it is absolutely nasty. It gets steeper on the inside of all of the bends. If you're sat in the middle of the group, it does work just a little bit better, and it's a little bit easier. So the gang are on Pot Bank at the moment. And this is where we see if everybody can hold on together. So it looks like just starting to see a few buddies. Looks like Foxy chasing back to our beacon. Claire Jessup just being distance here, 3 watts per kilo from Claire on this climb. Greg Pillsworth just tucked at the back. Mr. Lowe also, Mr. Richardson, James and co. Near the back of this group. Most of the riders just hovering around that yellow beacon, which is fantastic to see. And as you can see, the vast majority all tucked in together on this section of climb. And at the moment, everybody are just about holding those wheels. But as we go over this onto the false flat, the back of this group still making the way up here. So just keeping an eye on the very back of the bush. Looks like Andy Keyworth holding station at the back here, just pushing 3.3 watts per kilo. And you can see Low in front up at nearer 4. Trying to get back in. So at the moment, Keyworth is just at the back. So we've got Foxy and Jason Stevens, Claire Jessup and Andy Keyworth now. Distance Low is going to be the last man standing. So as we're in the offices, we are in the home. The Trail Dog Indy has a permanent bed in the Full Speed Event offices. And Indy the Trail Dog has decided that we shouldn't be intruding on his sleeping time, keeping everybody awake, talking about Donny Chaingang. So he decided to come and say hello, aka try and eat the cable and kill off all communication. So Neil now decided not to continue to push too hard on the way through there. Got Rob Wimble going up and through. Some great control from the gang here. So Rob Wimble, then it's going to be Gillard, then it's going to be Lowe, then it's going to be Gilbert. Let's have a little bit of a look. The back of this group just holding together. I think Rob are going to be near the back. Come on, Andy, you're nearly in there, mate. Good riding by Andy there. So Andy Keyworth just squeezing onto the back of the group. Looks like Emma Gilbert just being past. Come on, Emma, squeeze over top. This is where you need to be in that group. And the pack, you don't want to be distanced at this stage. Going to take that left-hand turn. So Neil from Gritty just off the back here. Claire Jessup also the same. Emma just squeezing into the back of the pack. Don't lose those wheels right now. Going to take that left-hand turn round here. Going to be really key to stay in with the group. Emma, of course, the winner of the OTE goodies this time round, Emma Gilbert. Winning that £30 of OTE goodies going out to the members of the DCG gang. Will be sending Emma the winner's email. Looking forward to writing that one a little bit later on tonight. So it looks like the gang's still all pretty much together. We are 23.5 kilometres in. We've been rolling for 46 minutes. We're over the top of the steepest bank. Anybody taking any bets at this moment in time? Because this is the moment when the group is just about at its bit. And it's go, 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 go. There you go. I was just lining up for saying, anybody going to take a bet? The go, go, go is going to go, and it has gone. 1.5 laps to go. This is going to be tough stuff. It's gone over the top of the bank. It's a huge bunch. It's not whittled right down this time round. We've had a few people off. And you can see a few people saying goodbye because it is going to be manic now. Let's see who's going to roll this out. Nick McDermott up on the front at the moment. Varty Moore moving through. Looks like Moore just quickly up onto the front. He doesn't want to be distance here. So let's see who is going to be able to squeeze this along, keep that pace high. Remember, we are on a downhill. So a few people taking the recovery. They are going to be diving in, get some recovery done. And the riders working well. Told you indeed the trail dog was about and around the offices. Here we go. This is all about being up near the front, staying in those wheels, not getting distance. Mr. Drabble touched nicely in here. No surprises there. Mr. Lowe in, looks like Sean Ferrin also in this group. Bobby Mason in here. Looks like Vin Donahoe is in here. Seeley just about tucked in. Come on, Tracy, squeeze those pedals. Don't get distance now. So it looks like Tracy just back in, and then Matlock also made the junction. Killingsworth not all that far off. Ian from Stellaton could just bridge across here. Come on, Ian, squeeze those pedals, buddy. This is your chance. Get on there before it goes over the crest of the climb. So it looks like the second group on the road is going to be the Andy Hawes group at the moment. And that is going to be Andy. It's going to be Dean Taylor, Chris Canham, I think, and Emma Gilbert. Not all far off. Come on, get on the back there. Quick, quick, quick. Now you can just see bodies just starting to get distanced in front. Looks like Russ Senior being distanced up to D. Now just losing contact. Hudson, next rider, in danger of going pop here. Come on, Paul. Keep squeezing, mate. Get on the wheel of Lee. Lee, come on. Get yourself up there. Gareth is just in front. Sean Ferran just about holding the wheels here on this climb. It's levelling off over the top. So this is where it is really key to trying to hold together. Man and Lloyd in that big group at the moment. But you can see it really is strung out. This is the leading pack, though, at the moment. And they are chasing the one and only Pete Drabble. Pete disappearing off down the road, doing a Pete Drabble at the moment. So Pete putting in his kick on the drag up there. He's still got one lap plus the run down past the line to go. And this is a course where the group should be able to pull him back 2 or 3 times tonight. You can see Dale Williams, Paul Simonite, Russ Osman, Taylor coming across. This pack has got the pace. It will be quicker and easier to pull people back. Remember, we've got Pack Dynamics 4 in operation now, so that is effectively like having double draft. But if you're in a group, it's also easier to get in. It's basically got a longer tail to the draft. You get dropped less easily. You'd find our riders are churning through less. There are riders going up to the side and then dropping back a touch. So all really interesting to watch because it is very much more like you would see if you were watching a road racer than particularly a computer game. Still keeping the gamification. So basically, real life watts do not equate to watts on Zwift. They are very much a very different thing. You can just see at the moment that the riders who know how to ride this are making the most of it. Drabble here is clear in front here. So on the way down past the line. So with 1 lap to go, Pete Drabble just holding clear of Paul Simonite, Dale Williams, Gareth Mason. Mason taking the lap jersey there, so moving the furthest from the back towards the front. On his way through, I'll tell you something, this though is a big old pack here. And if you watch these riders now, you see Riders will squeeze up and through. They're moving nicely here. Just tucking the way in through the group. Just moving along at a pretty good pace here. Just seen Ryan Crawley, I think it is, move up near the front. Yeah, it is. So Crawley moving up near the front and doing his turn and dropping off. Now they've got back the lone leader. They've pulled that gap down. So Group 1 are all together. This is Group 2. Richardson in here. Kuslux, Tristan from Sharing Cycles. We've got Greg Pillsworth in here. Matt Locks in here. Then a little bit further back, we've got McDermott and Moore. I think they've got Goddard, Malin, Chris Ball group chasing hard behind here. Malin Lloyd in this group as well. And it is key. Jump in a group, jump in a pack. Try and stay in that pack. And I've just seen, I think, Nina from Aeonian. So Nina from Aeonian are currently in the same group there as Tracy Seeley. The two riders rotating around on the back of this group of riders. This little pack chasing on behind. There's still plenty of time to make up ground, to lose distance for anything to happen realistically, because we've got a long way to go. We are onto the last lap. Russ now just on the front, takes the wider line round there, comes in towards the climb, towards the sprint at the moment. The lap time 23:11. It's going to be much faster this time around. Big question will be, when will Pete Drabble go again, and will they be able to pull him back repeatedly? They've already pulled him back once. Will they be able to do so again? Working as a team on this course is absolutely critical. If you think you're going to do this solo, it's very, very difficult indeed. So here we go, the group here just swelling in numbers as the riders start to come back together again. It's only about 16 seconds to the Vin Donahoe group here, Vin and Tracy and Keith. Looking after those in real life meetups. They're going to be going out from Thurcroft, going out towards the Thamar tea rooms, and they're going to be continuing to run those right the way through the summer. Now back to tonight's ride, and it's Dale Williams this time who has gone and kept the pressure on this time round. Will they let Dale Williams go because his name isn't Pete Drabble? That's the question. If you're not called Pete Drabble, are you going to be given some leeway here today? This is the, I was going to say chasing pack, but I'm not sure they are. They're across the road here. Now, got a big favourite, big favourite, big name on his big target. It is the man who is riding in the train shot jersey. It's Pete Drabble. Drabble is the man expected to take the win. Now that means that he's also got the pressure on him to be the man who's going to do the work, to be on the front, to chase back, to do all that effort. It looks to me like it's being taken up by other people though. So Williams just off the front at the moment. Booth comes through with Simonite at the moment. Evans coming up into the lead at the front of this pack. They're still chasing Williams. At the moment, Drabble getting an easy ride. He's just sat at the back of that group, moving his way up and through at the moment. So Mason now just on the front of this group. Downing sitting at the back, sandwiched in between that whole of group number one coming in and through. And they've still got Williams out in front. So Dale Williams up on the front. Pete Williams also a very good rider too. A nice guy. So Dale on his way in, going to take that right hand turn, just getting swallowed up by the pack. Now who's going to go again this time round? Will it be one of our regulars, or will it be one of the riders who we know is going to be mixing it up at the finish, or will it be a solo attacker? We're going to see some collusion between the riders. Has anybody enlisted the help of the bear tonight? So here we go now. Next dig. This time round, Mr. Byrne using the momentum round that corner, using that descent, carry the pace up onto the hill here. So it is Tim Byrne leading out at the moment. He's got Oxen and behind leading the riders. Oxenham using right off that pace, as you can see. Downing moving his way up there. It looks like Russ has managed to enlist the help of a little bit of a ghost there. Not that it makes any difference when you've got that beacon over the top of your head. So Mason's sitting at the back. Got the whole of the gang that are in the fight realistically up and around him at the moment. It's looking very interesting. Everybody watching each other. Everybody definitely watching a certain Mr. Drabble on the way through. Just seeing some big numbers come out from Rob Varty, just sprinting to the front and they'll ease back off again. Russ just puts in a bit of a kick into the red there. Crawley's up in this mix. Booth is up in there. Lowe is in here. Warren still tucked in to the group as well, as these riders are all just keeping the pressure on. Nobody's really easing off. They're all just a little bit of brinkmanship. I'll just stretch it up a little bit more. No, okay, you stretch it up a little bit more as well. And at the moment, it looks to me like Dale Williams is going to be the rider who's distanced off the back here. So it's Williams after that attack who's now gone. Osman is at the back of this group. He's given away a little bit of distance up in front. You can just see popping that feather, making the most of that drop in mass as he goes up towards the top. You don't want to be distanced now. Mason knows this course inside out. He knows when he's got a kick, he's got to be in that group as they come over the top. Even with Mason's mass, he's not going to be able to descend fast enough if he's not careful to get back into the group. And I think Drabble has worked out that he doesn't want to take through Mason. If Mason is in danger, he's going to put the pressure on the front because he knows that Mason has got a phenomenal kick. But look at this. That's why Mason was easing back. He's got an anvil, so he can use it on this descent. Is he going quick enough? Just about. So here we go. He's got the pace up. He's going to use that anvil to pick up the speed. This should bring him back in again. And Simon Warren actually is probably more in danger because Mason is going blasting past him. And Warren has got to jump on board the express train. That is a lead balloon powered express train because Mason has gone through and he's opened up the gap as he goes in. And at the moment you can just see, we can't see Mason. Guess what? He's absolutely flying. He popped the anvil going through the line. He then used his ghost on the way through as well. So he's used his ghost and he's used his anvil to come steaming across that gap. He's gone past Lowe here. He's got Osborne in front, but do you know what he's not done? He's not made the front of the group. And that's because the front of that group were doing exactly the same thing. Chucking the anvils down, opening up the gaps. Now, here we go, on to the climb out. This is the run back up to the roundabout. And on to the front goes Drabble. So a Drabble in with Varty, Oxenham and Simon out. They've got the bear tucked on the back. Russ has got one claw in the back pocket, I think, of Simon out at the moment as they go up this climb. They are just starting to stretch out 4 seconds of gap on Evans, on Crawley of Booth. It's a little bit further, 7 seconds back to Tim Byrne. And then you've got Taylor and Osmond, Lowe, Warren. Looks like Pearson's not all that far off making contact across. He's got a gap on Dale Williams and Matlock. Keith Richardson not all that far off the pace. So riders really are getting scattered out across this hillside now as they make their way up. Drabble leading at the moment. He's got a little bit of a gap, but Downing is going after him here. So Drabble at 6 watts per kilo again. Now Russ are trying to get across that gap here. He knows that he can't afford to let Drabble go. He's not got much assistance, as in there is nobody with him. They are 10 seconds back and they're in 1s and 2s. So this group has to reform, and it has to reform fast. You've got Simon Booth, Jimmy Allen, Rob Varty. You've got Evans, Oxenham. You've got people like Byrne and Mason. Massive powerhouses. You've got fast riders, but they are at the moment in the 1s, 2s, maybe 3 is the biggest group we're going to have together at the moment, and they've got to get it together quick. They will want to use the group power on the descent. Don't use group power, you ain't going to get back Drabble. He is 3 seconds in front of Russ, and everybody is behind him. Russ kicking up some more watts at the moment. And Russ at the moment 4 seconds down on Drabble as Drabble goes over the top here. Drabble sitting powering at 3.5 to 4 watts per kilo on his way down here. Russ just easing off those pedals, and it's going to be the Wolf. It is Jimmy Allen who's behind the bear at the moment. Then it is going to be Ryan Crawley. Crawley has got Booth. He's got Simonite. He's got Varty. This group gets it together. They could pick up Russ on the way through. Russ reckons he's gone pop. Well, we've heard that before. And he's got the amazing power of recovery. But he couldn't get across. He couldn't make the junction. There's 20 seconds between Drabble and Russ. There's 35 seconds from Drabble to this group. And they are going to have to work. Drabble is doing 4.5 to 5 watts per kilo. If this group don't do the same, they're not going to pull him back at a fast enough a rate before they go on to the climb. So Drabble descending at the moment. The riders are behind him, downing at 16 seconds. Jimmy Allen at 43 seconds. Crawley's group with Varty, Booth, Jimmy Allen, Simonite all round 43, 44 seconds. Evans at 1 minute and 5. Oxton 1:17. At the moment, it's Drabble who is doing the business here today. We're going to go alongside him with our drone cam as he comes down in. He's absolutely flying at the moment, and I think he's saving something because he's got a kick coming up. Here we go, round that turn. 21% on the left-hand turn that time. On the line that he was able to take 15%, goes up to about 18 on this right-hand turn here, dependent on that line that the Avatar takes. A little bit easier this time round. Now he's sitting at 6.5, nearly 7 watts per kilo. The chase is coming behind. The gap is down to 8. You can see the beacon behind. Crawley's going to lead in this group. They're trying to pursue the riders in front, and now you can just see it's all about who's got the kick on here. Jimmy Allen just dropping towards the back of the pack, as is Booth. Crawley is coming up now. This is where you can see the riders in front. Simonite, Varty, Downing, all chasing Drabble at the moment. Varty leading this group. Over the top comes Ryan Crawley. Crawley's going to make contact, I think, with Russ Downing. So here we go. He's on to the wheel of Russ. Russ just picks up the pace here. He needs to take a volume of riders, though. Whatever the gap travel has, they need to keep this group together. If they split the group, it's one-on-one, a mano-a-mano. My money's on Drabble. Get 6 on 1. Not a fair fight for Mr. Drabble, but I'll tell you something. He can handle himself, this kid, so let's see if he's going to be having to do that solo or whether he is going to be fighting a group at the moment. Varty's at 33 seconds, 34 down on Drabble. He's 6 seconds to Jimmy Allen, who's got 3 to Simonite, 2 to Booth. Russ is about 10 seconds up the road with Ryan Crawley. I'll tell you something, these two have got to make a really big decision. And it's coming up. Do they push on? Do they look to continue to push here? Or do they sit and wait for Booth, for Allen, for Simonite, potentially for Varty as well? That's going to be between 10 and 15 seconds of delay. That is going to open it out to 40 seconds. Drabble is about to make the turn on the corner. These riders are going to need to carefully think about this. Do they wait? Do they come as a group? Do they decide, do you know what, second and third place fight is much better now? It's got to be that, or are they going to wait for Booth? Looks like Jimmy Allen here. Simonite coming up really quickly on them as well. Varty, I think he's just too far back. Yep, 24 seconds down. His legs have one truly gone. We know Simonite's got a good power of recovery, but he's sitting at 1.5 watts per kilo over the top, just spinning it in at the moment. He's going to need to get on, and I think this is all letting Drabble go. You've got to make that decision and make it quick. Russ is trying to push here up to 5 watts per kilo. He's got Crawley on his wheels. We know Ryan Crawley's an absolute class act on his way through. Question will be for me, will these two work? If they do work, are they going to get it smooth? And you want to make sure you do turn and turn about. Harness that power, use the aerodynamic advantage of sitting in the wheel to recover, and then go on the front. But you need your front rider to be travelling faster than Pete Drabble. Drabble is currently doing 4.9 watts per kilo, 4.8. 5.4. So you're going to need your lead rider to be doing 5 to 6 watts per kilo, and your second rider to be doing whatever it takes to stay on the wheel and recover, then come through at over 5. But Drabble, he's got the gap. He's got the distance. It's looking like it could be game over. This could be the battle for second and third place. Behind, though, look at this, Jimmy Allen and Simon Booth both coming at pace. They're not messing about. And looks to me like they're keeping clear of Simonite. Then it's going to be Taylor, followed by Varty, Evans, Osman, Byrne, Oxenham, Warren in there as well. Osman in that group. Looks like Mason a little bit further back. Tristan from the team at Chevy Cycles a little bit further down the road as well. It's definitely on local roads. But this man, it is Pete Drabble. He's the man who's got that gap. So Pete Drabble at the moment leading this group. He's got the gap at the moment. So for those of you wanting a little bit of background, currently you're riding for the Flanders Colour De Fever team. So that is the FCD on the top on the screen that you see. A race winner, a regular rider on the top step of the podium. Both here and abroad. Absolutely flying. Started as a junior on the Flanders Colours team. Before that was racing in Belgium for the WAC team, and again another podium rider there as well. So proven race winner, regular winner of the King of the Mountains. Did that in the stage team as well. Absolutely flying. Now here we go, Ryan Crawley trying to bring back Drabble. Drabble it is who has the gap at the moment. Now he's got the pedigree, he's got the proven legs in on the road. He's doing the same here on the Chaingang tonight. He's opened that gap, still quite a way to that turn. It's just coming into sight on the satellite map. Satellite view on the map, even on the long view you can see it's still a little way away. So still coming into that left-hand turn. Crawley at the moment giving it some beans. Russ saying I'll lead it out. So Ryan, get on the wheel, make the most. You got Simon Booth at 11 seconds. Now broken clear of Jimmy Allen. Then it is going to be Simonite behind. And Jimmy can't afford to ease off. Simonite is well and truly on the chase. Then we've got a group of riders. That's going to be 4 riders behind. That's Taylor, Evans, Byrne and Oxenham. They're all left, though, in the dust of Pete Drabble tonight. Let's see Pete on form once again, using the hills to his advantage here on the Donny Chaingang. And Flanders Colour De Fever rider doing a fantastic job of opening it up. The FCD team yet again getting a win, courtesy of this man. So here he comes. He's on his way into the line. That's the gantry in front. Pete Drabble. He does it once again. Can anybody stop this man before we get to the end of the DCG season? Well, he's certainly put in some serious work here today. Now, behind, this is the duo contest in second and third place. Ryan Crawley in the blue and pink. You've got Russ Downing there in the grey. So Wahoo rider Crawley in the blue, Russ from Biteflesh in the grey of Downing Cycling, the coaching works kit. It's a further 10 seconds back to Booth, who's looking pretty untouchable now. Russ starts to open this up. Can Crawley respond and go with him? I think Russ is going to lead this out. Is he going to lead it to the line? Crawley's coming over. He's coming across. Can he make it across in time? He's going to try and get him before the line. Russ There, the shot, and Donny's job. He laid Crawley out. Crawley takes second. Russ Downing takes third. Russ our yellow beacon once again. It's going to be Simon Booth who's going to come across for a great fourth place here today. Looks like he's held off Jimmy Allen behind him. So Simon Booth goes through for fourth. It's going to be Jimmy Allen for fifth place here today. It's going to be a sixth place for Paul Simonite. Great riding now. This is the run for the line between Byrne, Taylor, Evans and Co. So this is your group of four. You've got Tim Byrne in the Bontrager jersey. That's in the yellow. You've got Taylor in the green camo. In the black, you've got Evans. It's Taylor who opens up first here as he goes for the line now. Burns trying to respond to that. Burns coming in the yellow. He's trying to close down Oxenham. He's going to go over the top. He's gone over the top. He's going to lead them through here. So it is going to be Byrne who takes top spot in this sprint. Then it's Oxenham, Taylor and Evans in that order. Behind this is the sprint between Varty and Osman. Then it looks to me like Varty has opened up the gap, so it's going to be Rob Varty who's going to get 11th place. It's going to be Rob Osman who's going to get 12th. Oh, he can't relax. Osman's still kicking to the line. He's going to go through. 13th is going to be Matlock coming through. Kooslugs is going to come in right on his heels behind for 14th. Simon Warren in 15th place. It's going to be a 16th today for Tristan. He can't afford to ease up too much because they are coming at some pace behind him. So Tristan's going to get 16th. Who's going to get 17th as they come for the line? I think it's going to be Dale Williams. Is he going to hold them off? He is. Brilliant sprint. Oh, look at that. Just made it. So Tristan coming through just in front of Williams, of Goddard, Richardson, Pillsworth, Forbes, Malin. Looks like Hawkins in there as well. Big gap back after Hawkins and Jace. That was a cracking group and one heck of a sprint on the way in. Mason's going to be our next rider. He's currently got 13 seconds on Andy Watson and the gang. Yeah, not a race, Simon. It's not a race, but it often ends up like one. Mr. James, yeah, didn't realise he was finishing there. Yeah, always finish at a fixed point before the blue banner, quite simply because it allows everybody a proper warm down. It encourages you to spin your legs out properly and do the job right. So Mr. Mason is on his way through, comes in over the line. Then it's going to be between these two. Is John Dixon going to roll him? I think he is. John Dixon's going to just take that. Dixon goes through ahead of Raccoon there. Then it's going to be Mr. Moore immediately behind him. So Moore comes through, then it's going to be Chris Ball and John Garford. Good ride by those two. They come in just ahead of Doug Main. Great riding as they come in over the line. Then behind Main is going to be Nick McDermott. He comes through ahead of Mr. Wilson, and the second of the Moores heading for the line. So Benny Moore chasing Sean to the line. Benny leading out this sprint at the moment. Wilson is a canny rider. He knows where the line is. Is he going to have enough? Moore puts in a second kick here. It's Moore, then it's going to be Wilson. Behind him will be Craig Herring. Good to see Craig. Quite as well anticipated. Craig, you knew we were going to be coming in back for him. Good to see Craig Herring back on the gang once again. And definitely making a very fast return. Now, Catlin versus Lee. Allen is going to be close here. Who's going to get it? Oh, it was just Catlin getting it from Allen. Gale's going to come in behind. And then it's going to be Vodka and Tonic on the way through, a.k.a. Vin and Tracy. I think Tracy's going to be currently leading out the sprint on the way in. These two, of course, with Keith, going to be out on Sunday. Please do message them if you're going to be joining them on the In Real Life meetup. And then it's heading out to Tabar Cafe. Out in Elkersley, out at the side of the A1. Lots of different routes on that Facebook page. Lots of information. Get in touch on there with the gang. Now, next up will be Chris Lowe. Chris has got an 8-second lead on Hudson. Nobody in between. Big kick from Chris as he comes in. Good riding, Chris. Paul Hudson going to be next. He's just ahead of Dr. D. Rowan Dubash just chasing Paul towards line. Just about make out the green of Dr. D behind. So Hudson through. Dubash is going to be the next rider on that green Tron bike in the green. Dr. D coming in. A good ride by him. Just ahead of Russ Senior. Senior's going to be our next rider heading in for the line. And whilst he does so, going to just give you a quick heads up. Remember, it is OTE April, Classic April. They're back after kicking off the season. They're back to finish off the season, rewarding those people who have been members of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club. Really, really key that we get that support, because it just basically means we can keep the show on the road, we can keep Russ's wheels turning, and bring you the chain gangs and look after everybody. So a massive thank you if you have donated. If you're not able to donate for the month, don't worry, ad hoc donations are great. We really appreciate those too. Every little counts on the way through. Now we are going to be back on Tuesday next week. In between, we've got plenty of broadcasting coming up. We should be back in the studio downstairs, hence why it's pretty frantic at the moment getting that done. And going to be bringing that to you. Now, Russ Senior on his way into the line. Russ, the next rider in through, just ahead of Gary Patterson. Gary, good luck with your Ironman. Good sprint kick there coming from him. Just ahead of Ian from the Stelaton. Then it's going to be Sean Ferrin. Ferrin just putting that kick in, just opening a little bit of a gap back to Bobby Mason. Bobby, the winner of one of those packs of goodies from OTE, from Annie and all of the gang. So congratulations, Bobby, on that, and well done finishing the ride. Andy Kewis going to be the next rider running in towards the line. So Andy, 28 seconds ahead of Mike Killingsworth. Can't afford to relax too much. Mike with Gillard as well, coming at pretty fierce pace at the moment. So Andy Kewis from out the saddle, our next finisher here today. So well done to Andy. Mike, and is going to be John coming round the corner here. So John Gillard, the rider on the wheel, Mike Killingsworth, both going to be heading in towards the line. You can just see Mike Killingsworth winding up that pace at the moment. He's just opening a gap here on Gillard. So it's going to be Killingsworth who goes through the line. Gillard following him in through. Mike Killingsworth and John Gillard going through. Then it's going to be Andy Hawes and going to be Dean Taylor here. Hawes is putting in the sprint, so is Taylor. Look at this. So Taylor is the rider at the back in the black. Andy Hawes has led this out, but Taylor's just gone over the top of him. Has Andy got anything left in the tank? Andy can't keep up. It is going to be Taylor. So Dean Taylor from Andy Hawes. Great sprint, gents. Thank you very much. Next up will be Chris Cameron. Now we can rely on Chris for a sprint, but behind him, he has got Rob Wimble. Rob, fiercely competitive and regular, of course, on the Notts Derby Cross scene, as well as the National Cross. He's the rider behind for Drogon Squad. Then it's going to be Emma Gilbert. And a little bit of a gap back to Claire, to Foxy, and to Jason as well. So, Chris Canham on his way in to take that left-hand turn ahead of Rob Wimble. Wimble here currently 47 kph. It's 50 for Canham. And the next nearest rider is going to be 51. It's Emma Gilbert just dropping down in, chasing these riders down towards line. Gilbert already pushing over 3 watts per kilo. Chris Canham is round the bend though, and he's going to soon unload, I'm sure. Chris almost certain to be relied on for putting in a sprint. He knows he's got riders behind him as well here. So Chris Canham pushing, he goes up. He knows he's not going to go too crazy, but behind the sprint is on fire. So Chris is going to come through. He winds it up now behind. It is going to be between Wimble and Gilbert. Wimble's just about going to take it, or is he? Look at that, they came through the line basically together. So Emma Gilbert and Rob Wimble going through the line together. And congratulations, great sprint, and well done to Emma Gilbert. Emma taking it away those habitat tabs. Another fantastic sprint there between Rob and Emma there. So congratulations, guys. Emma Gilbert, of course, a winner on the OTE goodies. And don't forget, of course, a team from OTE with 30% discount for members of the DCG gang. So if you need to stock up with OTE for the summer, if you haven't got any between now and autumn, if you haven't got any stocks in, if you think you're going to run out between now and then, well, guess what? It may well be the time to stock up. 30% discount, membership for a month. I know what I'll be doing. Pay the membership for a month and stock up. Fill the office with it up to the roof. That sounds like a good plan to me. Probably need that in salted caramel bars. Not that I have an addiction, but hello, my name's Matt, and I'm addicted to salted caramel OTE Anytime protein bars. Best thing ever. Almost more than coffee, to be honest. That's a bad statement from me, but true. Okay, Claire Jessup's going to be the next of our riders coming into the line. We've got Foxy and Jason Stevens coming on the way as well. So just some quick bits of admin for you. Just said 30% discount from OTE. Don't forget we've got 20% from Gritty. We've got 20% from Veloskin as well. We've got Halo giving away 10%. We've got, of course, the support of Nonnas and Continental. And 1080, the people with the best shades in the business, Ian Taylor and the team at the tourist destination that is the 1080 store in Norwich, have got not just the best prices, which they have generally anyway, some amazing advice. Their knowledge is encyclopedic, but also some fantastic discounts exclusive to members of the DCG gang. So please, 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 guys, jump on the site. Make sure you support the people who support the Chain Gang. They're just up over there. Whether you remember or not, dive in. These guys, they're not some nameless, faceless corporation. They are people who come and ride the gang. Quite literally from everybody. Ian Taylor from 1080 riding on the gang. Annie Simpson, Max and all the gang from OTE jumping on the Chain Gang. Neil was on tonight from Gritty. Caroline Lotter as well have also been on from the Gritty team. From Velaskin, we've got Andy, we've got Chris regularly on the Chain Gang. Everybody knows Stefano from the Nonnas, the manager of Nonnas, and of course Maurizio, the owner, regulars on the Chain Gang. From Halo, Josh Malin, regularly in that fight for the finish on the Chain Gang. Continental, Shelley Charles again, regular on the Chain Gang. They are the people who live, breathe the Chain Gang. They are being kind enough to support the gang. Please, guys, make sure you give them your support. Loads of great products, lots of great discounts as well if you remember the gang. And of course, they are there looking after the riders. Now, next rider coming into the finish is going to be Claire Jessup. And Claire on her way down the straight, that gantry in sight in front of Claire. So, another good ride by Claire here today. And Claire is going to be heading in for the line. So Claire makes her way in underneath the gantry, just to spin down to the blue banner for Claire. Great ride to come in and through. And that leaves us the dynamic duo that is Foxy. And I have to say, Foxy, I think this is the same kit 2 days, 2 Chain Gangs in a row, unless I'm much mistaken. So Foxy on a very fast bike. They got the fast wheel set in the aero frame. Alongside Jason Stevens, Jason riding on the Tron, the Zwift Concept Z1 bike, aka the Tron bike, as it's known by everybody who ever rides on Zwift. One of the fastest bikes across all trains, but definitely not the fastest anywhere. And Jason and Foxy on the way in towards the line. They're on the long drive. They've got a dip, they've got one more riser, and then that long run down and in. Now, whilst we have a little bit of a gang, a few people have been asking, first of all, wow DCG, yep, aim is to bring it back in the new season next winter. Plans are already afoot. Emma is absolutely itching to get that underway. We are also, of course, planning on being back in the winter with the DCG. The Donny Chain Gang, we will finish at the end of April. That means that after tonight, we have 4 more rides after tonight. So 4 more after tonight. So 2 next week and 2 the week after. And then that's it. It's going to be meeting up in real life. You can jump on Swerve, maybe meet up with the people. Keep in touch on the Facebook page, and we'll be coming back in the new season. Of these 4, it is going to be the penultimate one that we are not around on the broadcast for. So Russ will be leading the ride as normal. There'll be red beacon, yellow beacon, everything the same as normal, same fixed finish point. But there'll be no broadcast, and that is quite silly because we have got a major event starting on the Friday after the Chain Gang. That is an 8-day, 7-stage esports stage race, cycling stage race, with a $1 million prize fund. Yes, we're kind of busy during that period, and just as importantly, it means we've got to be out and set up and all ready to go. And that means that the only day we can travel is going to be on the Tuesday, unfortunately. And that means, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do the Chain Gang broadcast. Thought about doing it from the van on the middle of the journey and decided, nah, do you know what? Let's just give away the prize on Thursday instead and join you all for the last one, which we're not going to miss, even though it is the day before the big stage race. So please remember, guys, do join us for the shows. Make sure you subscribe to the channels. Don't forget, of course, catch up on social media. It's what everybody does. All kids do it these days, don't they? So you can catch up with us. It's really easy. Russ is Russ Downing. You can catch up with him at Downing Cycling. You can catch up with him at Bike Espresso, and you can catch up with him at Bike Flex as well. So all of those ways to keep up with Russ. You can keep up with Emma. That is at Biking Emma, and that is on Instagram, on Facebook, on pretty much everything social media platform. I lose track these days. And you can catch up with me. It's at Matt Fix the Pain. Emma and I, of course, covering events as part of Full Speed Events. Yes, over there at Full Speed Events, and lots on there. If you want to see what we get up to on the weekend on the esports bike racing, jump on to there. The links are on there. I think today's was a rewind of the action from the previous weekend's qualifier, and great to see those riders in action. And really, there's some really great racing, great fun to call, and great team to work with on that. We've also got lots of meetings lined up this next week. It's going to be really busy because we have got some more details coming through for a lot of the work with the UCI we were doing, and that's going to be coming out as well. And you'll be able to catch up with that and see where we're going to be when you can catch up with us across on the screen. So it's not just over there on the screen on Zwift. We're all over the place as well. Make sure you get in touch. And if you've got a project that you want us to put words to the action to, whether that's myself, whether it's Emma, or whether, of course, you want us to broadcast the whole show, just get in touch. We're always interested in what's going on, and we'll help wherever we can. Now, our riders on the rundown on their final descent just across there, and going to be checking out whether or not they have made the corner. Let's take a look. No, just coming off the corner, just on that 4%, but it's coming into sight. So, remember, we're back on Tuesday. In real life, meetup is going out at the weekend. Jump on that Facebook page and get in touch on there with Keith, with Finn, and with Tracy. If you are going, please let them know so that they can tell the cafe just how many coffees, etc. they're going to need. It's going to be busy. It's going to be great. Making sure that everybody bumps in, sees people in real life, see how accurate people's avatars are, see whose weight doesn't match up to their avatar on the way through. I'm sure nobody would do a thing like that, would they? Right, here we go. Riders on the way in to the finish. Let's dive in and watch the red beacon. Amazing job done by Jason Stevens today. Jason, our beacon, one of our really experienced beacon, keeping company with Foxy on the way round. They're on the way in towards the line. A massive thank you to Jason, of course, to all of our beacons, whether that is our red or yellow beacons, whoever they are, wherever they are, and whatever they're up to at the moment. There's quite a few people doing all sorts of different things at the minute because we are heading in towards summer now. Jason and Foxy are both going for the sprint here. This is going to be side by side as they come in. Looks like Foxy at 7.8 watts per kilo. Stevens is now up at 8.5. They go, oh, I think that was Foxy who got it that time round. So well done to our beacon, Jason Stevens. A massive thank you and well done to Foxy. Despite that mechanical, making it all the way in and through the line. You can see on the screen there the comment of Wicked. Well, have a great weekend. Stay safe. We will catch up with you again soon. From Russ, from myself, from all of the team on the Chaingang. See you soon. Bye-bye.